I gotta cut that out. So, we are gonna stretch this morning, but we're gonna do it time under tension, but we're gonna work the hardest component of all stretch, and that's twist. Twist has a lot of pieces to it. Twist has balance, it has neurological coordination, you have to core stabilize, or you will put things into jeopardy. That is why in orthopedics, they always tell you, don't pick things up with the twist, because most of the time when you twist, you turn off your core. So we have to learn to keep the core on, and in keeping the core on, we have to remember this one important thing, and that is we are working muscles and not joints. So if you feel any pressure into your joints, it means you're not activating enough core and you have to get back into the muscle. So that's where we shall begin. We shall actually start by stretching out the calves, and then we're going to look at some of the twisting things that we can do. We're going to start out with our left foot on the block. Both feet will be parallel. Abs will be nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. We're creating time under tension, so you will be tightening up your calves a little bit, your quads, and your first chakra, your pelvic floor, second chakra, your lower abs, third chakra, your upper abs. As you draw your shoulder blades down and back, abs nice and tight, and you're going to keep your abs on. At no point should you feel this in your low back, or your knee, or your hip, or your shoulders or neck. So we're going to pump our hips forward. You're going to keep those abs engaged. You're going to suck in that tummy and just see how everything feels. So we have to work up twist because, like I said, it's the most complex thing we can do in stretch. We will even look at how it affects our balance after we open up this calf. Okay?
I think we should go longer.
Yeah, I do too. This is pretty tight. What number is this now?
16.
Keep your knees over the tops of your feet.
19 and 20.
Now we're going to do our step forward, step back, hip back. There's Wolfie, elongating her gastroc. She's just going to go off screen. Abs are nice and tight. Don't let your abs shut off. Don't let any pressure go into your low back. Don't let your head go down. Your head stays up. This will protect you when you're hiking, so you don't have to fall on your face, which is a reality. What number are we on?
11.
Good. Abs.
12.
Ah! Keep your core on to keep your balance. I was demonstrating what happens when you turn off your core. Smiles are up. No smart marks. Okay. What number?
17. 18. 19. And 20.
Okay, so you're seeing how powerfully influential your calf muscle is in upright posture and even your core being on. So when the belly hangs out, there's several things going on. You can have tight calves and you've lost rotation. So we're going to get it back. Abs are engaged. You're lifting nice and tall. First, second, third chakras are on. Your quads are on. Your calves are on. Lats, abs, and we're pumping our hips forward again. No pressure in your low back. That means something turned off, because your back's a whole bunch of little joints, and we don't want to feel it in your back. Abs are nice and tight. You're not feeling it in your back. Your calves are on. Your knees are parallel. What number? Okay, here we go. Step forward, step back, hips back. Oh. So we're opening up the calves, as you see, and as we mentioned before, the calves are very influential in upright posture. And when the calves get tight, it really impacts how we move, how we keep our head upright, and it affects our overall balance, not to mention the rounding of your back and the hanging out of your belly. Very influential little muscle. Keep breathing. What number are we on?
12.
Oh boy. Abs engaged. Just gonna walk around. What number now?
17.
Okay. Abs. Smiles. Chest out.
20.
Okay. Good. So go ahead and stand to see how that feels, and again, how those calves influence you, and how now you feel a little bit more forward. You're engaging your core, and your shoulders are back to create the balance of upright, good, ideal posture. Okay? We are now going to open up your quads. So you're gonna go onto your left knee. Your abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Your shoulder blades are down and back. You're gonna keep your core on so your head stays over the top of the block. Hips will go side to side. Suck in that tummy. When you're breathing, oh, little visitor's back.
Wag your tail and they will come.
Abs are nice and tight, suck in that tummy. Head stays over the top of the block. Your smiles are up. You're breathing. What number are we on?
13.
Abs. Really draw the abs in. Activate your abs. Create that stability with that transverse abdominis.
19 and 20.
Okay, we're going to stretch forward, doing the exact same thing. Now we're lengthening our rectus femoris, another muscle that influences upright posture. Rectus femoris is a quad muscle, but it's also a hip flexor. It's a very long muscle, so if it shortens, you start to slouch. Right, Wolfie? Oh, she's going right to her little nest. It's a little beehive you can't see. Abs are nice and tight, hips side to side. Try to keep that head motionless. Okay, we're gonna reach back, grab that foot, and we're gonna pull that heel to our butt. Again, if you feel cramping in your hamstring or your foot, it means you're using your hamstring and your foot. Don't use it. Keep your abs engaged. Chest is up, hips go forward, side to side. Abs are engaged. You can add a rotation to your right, sucking in that tummy, and breathe. Jaws relaxed, smiles are up. Ooh, just feel what kind of stretch is going on. So I've been sitting a lot recently, so these shorten up from sitting. Okay? Cross that leg across midline. I was in the middle of a story. We're gonna reach forward, you're gonna grab your toe, you're sucking in your tummy. Oh. Feel what it feels like to stretch, and then feel what it feels like to recruit your core and pull yourself deeper in the stretch. No joints. If you feel joints, something turned off. We want to keep the joints on. We're still not in twist yet, so we're warming things up still. Abs are engaged. Okay. Come back to center as we switch sides. Okay. Remember, your core's on, so your head stays over the top of the block. Abs are nice and tight as your hips go side to side. You're sucking in your tummy. Jaws relaxed. Smiles are up. You're breathing. Try not to move that head. These are good looking shirts, huh? They're matching.
20.
Okay, we're gonna push forward. We're gonna lengthen that rectus femoris, side to side. Notice if one side's tighter. We don't want one long stride, one short stride, because that is involving something called unintentional limp. And we don't want to activate that, because if you limp long enough, you will have a problem. Just ask the dad in the former TV show Frasier, who faked the limp until that limp became a real hip and knee pathology. You're going to take your left hand, reach back, grab your right foot, pull your heel to your butt, push your hips forward, watch that knee alignment, rotate to the left, and hips go side to side again. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Don't let your belly hang out. Jaws relaxed, smiles are up. Keep breathing.
20.
Okay, gonna release as you now take your leg across midline to stretch forward. Once again, you're using your core, your quads are on, your legs are on. There should be no stress into any joints. You will feel this in your muscles for sure, and that's what the goal is. Abs are nice and tight, suck in your tummy. Keep breathing. Keep that core on, keep those smiles up. Jaws relaxed. How long?
13.
Keep sucking that tummy. It seems like one side's almost longer than the other. Abs are nice
20.
and tight. Okay. We're gonna come back up to standing now. Just with stretching those few muscles out, we're gonna see how we feel. We're gonna come back to stance, feet are parallel. Notice how it's easier to find parallel at hips width apart. And as we've described before, hips width is here's your ASIS, here's your pubic symphysis. Midway in between, it's hips parallel. Notice how much easier it is to use your toes. Big toe and the corresponding metatarsal head, the outer four toes, and the corresponding metatarsal heads, that little pinky toe and your heel. 1/3 weight through your toes, and 1/3 the weight through the balls of your feet, and your 1/3 the weight through your heels. Becomes a whole lot easier to do as we keep the weight naturally forward now. Suck in your tummy. Just see what the balance feels like. We're now gonna go into a lunge. But we're gonna do what we typically don't do. We're gonna turn out that rear foot about 45 degrees. Okay? We're gonna straighten that front leg. Abs are nice and tight. We want you to fire up your quads. So we want that quad to go nice and tight. Abs are engaged. First, second, third chakras, this is all about time under tension. We're first gonna go down into a nice stretch forward. You're sucking in your tummy, you're holding everything in. Got anything to add, Maria?
Nope.
Abs are engaged. We're lengthening some tissues. That would be your hamstring and calf tissues. Suck in that tummy. Don't let your belly hang out. Okay, this is a straight stretch, and in itself, it's hard enough. How long?
10.
Okay, come back up. So that's what it felt like. You shouldn't have felt this in any joints. You shouldn't feel this in your low back, you shouldn't feel it in your knees, because we're working muscles and stabilizing muscles. Stabilizing joints to do the right thing. Keep those hips level. You're gonna take now your left hand, and that's gonna head towards your right foot. So we're gonna do twist. And suddenly you feel how much harder it is to do twisted things. After you activate your oblique, your abs are engaged, you're reaching up with that opposite arm.
Keep your pelvic floor engaged, lower abs lifted, belly button to spine, shoulder blades down and back, and breathe.
4, 3, 2, 1. We come back up again. Woo! That was fun. We're gonna switch sides. Okay, you're gonna take your right leg back behind you. It's gonna aim out 45 degrees. You're gonna watch the alignment of your knee, knees over top of your foot. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Shoulder blades are down and back. Lats are on. No pain into any joint. So turn on all the muscles you need to keep this nice and stable in the muscles. We don't care how far you go down. What we do care about is form. And that form is in muscles, not joints. Good posture, abs nice and tight. Keep breathing, feel the stretch, keep muscles on, that includes your quad muscle. Abs are on, you're sucking in that tummy.
10.
Okay, we're gonna come back up, and then you're gonna take your, what is this? Right hand down, left hand in the air. Keep your quad on, you're gonna feel a deep stretch. Abs are nice and tight, nothing in your low back. If you're not so flexible, you can use your block.
Keep the pelvic floor engaged, lower abs lifted, belly button to spine, shoulder blades down and back, long neck, and breathe.
Suck in that tummy. Core is stabilizing. No joint pain.
10.
Okay. Come back up again. Whoa. And we're going to go into a squat. You're going to take your arms over top of your head. Abs are nice and tight. Your lats are on. Once again, no pain in your joints. Push those hips back. No pressure in the knees because you're using your quads, your butt, your abs, your lats. Suck in that tummy. Smiles are up. And then we're going to do a forward fold. Jaws relaxed. We're lengthening things. We always start with homolateral when we begin things because it's easy. And with time, we complex it into twist. Suck in your tummy. Lift up those arches, keep the knees turned out, quads are on, abs are on. And then we're going to come up halfway onto your knees. Smiles are up. And here we go, getting into our forward fold. Now you're going to take your, what is this? Your left hand across your right leg, and you're going to take your right arm into the air. Twist. Quads are on, calves are on. Suck in that tummy. Keep breathing. So you don't need equipment to stretch, but you do need time under tension.
10.
Okay. And then we're going to come back into our knee position. Butt sticks out. We're going to just make sure our abs are on by sucking in your tummy. You're smiling up. And then we're going to do the other side. So I used to do this yoga. It was called Valentine Yoga. One of my friends taught it. Every stretch pose was held for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It was grueling, but never did you feel better afterwards. And that's why we kind of follow time.
10.
Good. Hands back on your knees. See if you accidentally put it in your low back. It shouldn't have gone there. It should have stayed in your abs, hamstrings, quads, and calves. Okay, we're going to come back up to standing as we now take our arms up over the top of our heads. Oh man. Suck in your tummy. Lean back a little further. You should not feel this in your low back or your neck because your abs are stabilizing. Your quads are on. Everything is there to protect your spine. That's your low back and your neck. Good. And then we're going to come back into stance. Get your marbles back. Okay. Now we're going to look at balance for a quick second and see why twist is such a dilemma. You're going to balance on your left foot, or sorry, your right foot, bringing your left foot up off the ground. I goofed, sorry. Just get your balance. So, see how easy that is? Now we're going to make it more difficult. You're going to twist. See how much more difficult balance got adding twist? Woo! Because you're now managing way more components. Lift up tall. Try to draw that right shoulder blade back. Don't let any of this work go into your right knee. Abs are engaged. And then try with your eyes closed. Woo. Good. Come back to center, eyes open. Balance on your left foot. Abs are nice and tight. See what it feels like to engage your core. Shoulders are down and back. And then we're going to add the twist. And notice how muscle activation went up very much. And that's a good thing. Suck in your tummy. Add the rotation. Deeper. Get that left shoulder back further. Suck in your tummy. Don't let any of the force go into your knee. We're working muscles, not joints. And then see what it's like to close your eyes. Keep your chest up. Keep your balance on. Keep your breathing going on. It's okay if you bobble or weave. This is the time to do it. Not when you're carrying like a 10-pound turkey. Oh, by the way, hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Feet come back down. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy. Okay, we're going to take that right leg forward, left foot back. Once again, that foot's going to turn out in the rear a little bit. Okay? Abs are nice and tight. We're going to take our hands up over the top of the head. We're going to lean back. So you can have that front knee bend a lot as you lean back. See how Mari's creating that beautiful arch? She's almost like a C shape. Believe it or not, my spine's doing that too. Suck your tummy. Abs are nice and tight. This is opening up your hip flexors. This is your rectus femoris. Something called your sartorius is opening up. Don't let it go into your knee, so fire up your quads, fire up your butt and your abs to protect all the structures in here. Okay, and then come back up. Restabilize, reset, see if you accidentally put it in your back, because now you're gonna take your right hand back behind you. It's gonna slide down your thigh as you lean back once again with the twist. Suck in your tummy. I'm doing exactly what Maria's doing. Bend that front knee. Don't push me. Do you see her? She pushed me. Abs are nice and tight. Twist. Really reach with that left hand into the air. Back behind you. Smiles are up, suck in that tummy. Bend the front knee. Keep your abs engaged to protect your back. Do not compromise this motion to get a shape that your body cannot support you in. Reach.
10.
And good. We're gonna switch sides. So you're seeing how much harder twist is than a straight up action. Your foot's down, 45 degrees on that rear foot, front leg bends, both arms go over the top of your head, your abs are engaged. The shirt just gonna make sure it embarrasses me. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in your tummy. Bend the front knee. Abs. Protect that low back, protect your neck. Okay, good. You're gonna take your left hand, put it on your right thigh. Left arm goes up and you're reaching tall. Bend that front knee, abs are engaged. Suck in your tummy. We're stretching out the rectus femoris and sartorius. Lift, heart up. Abs are engaged. Ooh. Fire up your abs, protect your back, protect your neck. And then come back into stance once again. Feet are gonna go feet parallel. Your arms are gonna go over the top of your head. We're gonna add a rotational twist with the lean back. Try to keep your hips facing forward, so don't let your hips rotate. There we go. Lean back a little further. Abs are engaged. Don't load your low back. If you feel this in your low back, come back up a little bit. Tighten your abs up a lot. Okay. Come back up. We're just going to do the opposite side. Notice if one side was easier than the other. That means you're doing the javelin too much on one side, not the other. Abs are nice and tight. In fact, I had a javelin thrower as a client, and this was one of the biggest dilemmas. She could do it on one side, but not the other, so we strengthened the weakest side. Suck in that tummy.
10.
Good. Come back to center. Reestablish stance. Abs are nice and tight. Feet parallel, 1/3 the weight through your toes, balls of your feet, and your heels. Abs are nice and tight. Should be easier to activate your core as we go into hip circles. Loosen everything up. See if you accidentally used your lumbar spine. Keep your abs engaged. Smiles are up. Opposite direction. Moving from your hips, not from your head. What else do you think we should stretch and twist?
10.
Okay. We're going to go back onto the block in a twisted position because we're going to look at some of the things that stretch out the front side of the body. Abs are engaged, just like if we were to take our hips side to side. We're going to immediately grab that rear foot behind you, but we're going to add a lot more twist than we usually have. You can take the roller, put it out in front of you. You're going to twist, 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 twist. Suck in your tummy. Abs go on. Pull your heel to your butt. And rotate. Suck in that tummy. Rotate more. Like really try to look over your left big toe. Back behind you. If you want, you can do what Mario is attempting to do. You can put your hand on your thigh. I'm not going to. Push your hips forward. Rotate. Keep sucking in that tummy. You should feel this in your abs because your abs have to activate. Okay, and then we're going to come out of this one. you're going to just switch hands. This is a homolateral twist. You're going to go to the same side as the opening. But we want you to get deeper twist by going as far as you can to the left. Keep that right knee over the top of your foot. Suck in that tummy. Notice how much easier this is than the contralateral twist. That's why over a lifetime we lose contralateral or the parasympathetic pattern. And our body moves away from being an ideal posture and movement and goes into a much sloppier, rounded, shoulder-rounded hips, sympathetic pattern. Okay, we switch sides. So immediately we'll take your left hand, grab a hold of your right foot. We're going to twist again to that left side. Your abs are engaged. You're sucking in your tummy. Your shoulder blades are down and back. And we're really going to rotate. We're going to like over-rotate, push your hips forward. Keep your abs engaged. Notice how your abs want to shut off. The dilemma of stretching is time under tension because we think we should be reducing tension and stress. Stretch. But in fact, we're increasing tension and learning how to manage it and calm down the central nervous system with tension. Good. And then we're going to rotate the other direction, still holding onto your foot. Now with your right hand, we're going to rotate to the right. Suck in your tummy. Notice how easy it is for your belly to hang out. Don't let it hang out. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy.
Okay.
And good. Go ahead and release as we come into kneeling on the floor. You don't have to use a block. If you're in a place you don't have a block or even a roller, you can use a chair and just roll the towel. We use a block mainly for padding, not because we need it as a prop. We're on a very hard floor. Even though we look like we're on a mat, it's a hard concrete floor on a pretend wood floor. So it's not very soft. Suck in your tummy, abs are engaged. Feel what it feels like to now bend your knees. It should feel a whole lot easier than it normally does. And now we're gonna warm up our knees. Here's what's interesting. We've been stretching our quads, our hamstrings, and major muscle groups. So you should notice your quads feel warm. As you go towards your knees, they should be cold because you haven't used them a lot. We don't want to overuse the knees. We want to use muscles, not joints. So we're gonna physically warm up the knees. So you can actually warm them up. Ooh, use your hand temperature to warm it up, unless you're one of those cold, clammy people, in which case you're gonna make cold, clammy knees, but that's okay. Okay, abs are nice and tight. We are gonna warm up the toes a little bit before we continue stretching. You're gonna curl your toes under first. I know we usually start with pointed toes, but now we're gonna curl our toes under first. You're gonna push your heels back. If you feel a lot of pressure in those metatarsal heads, those are knuckles of your toes, that means you need to push your heels back. Just push them back. And then we're gonna sit on top of our heels, and then we're gonna lean back. Abs are nice and tight. We're gonna do sit-ups here. So you're gonna suck in your tummy and release, and suck in your tummy and release. Abs are nice and tight. The reason Mario and I keep looking out the window is it's raining outside. Suck in that tummy and release, suck and release, release and suck, suck and release. Abs are nice and tight. What number are we on? 12. Okay, you're gonna take your
15.
left hand over the top of your head. Oh, okay, fine. Mario wants to keep going.
18, 19,
20.
20.
Okay, now take your left hand over the top of your head. You're gonna arch rotate as much as you can over to the right as you stay heavy on your toes, stretching out your plantar fascia and your calves. Suck in your tummy. Jaws relaxed. Keep breathing. Okay. Switch sides. So in Inuit, I think that's the way you pronounce it, I guess there are 32 different ways to describe snow. I used to think, why would you have 32 different ways to describe snow? Then I moved to Hawaii, and I could think of 100 different ways to describe the rain in which it comes down here. Sometimes it's soft and friendly, sometimes it's mean and angry. Sometimes it comes sideways, sometimes it's fat. There's also where it's like, oh. Okay, you're gonna point your toes now. They're gonna go straight back behind you. We're gonna pop a wheelie as you lift your knees up. Abs are engaged, suck in your tummy. See what it feels like to really stretch out the tops of your foot. We're so used to flat level ground and we're so used to wearing shoes that we've forgotten how to do this. You're doing your sit-ups. Yeah, because of shoe wearing, we get in the bad habit of lifting our toes into the top of the inside of the shoe. And that's not the way our feet were designed, and that's why we end up stubbing our toes and tripping on small objects. What number?
16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Go ahead and drop your feet down, or your knees down. You're gonna lean back, take your left hand over the top of your head. We're doing a twist. Suck in that tummy. Keep breathing, keep your abs engaged. Reach. Okay, switch sides. Suck in that tummy. You should feel your abs really working, almost cramping because you're using them. If you feel pressure in your knees, it means you need to tighten something. It might be your quads, it might be your abs, but something needs to tighten. You should feel no pressure in your knees. In fact, the knee flexion is the position of restoration for the knees. So if you want to heal your knees, you gotta be able to bend them. Okay, from here, we're gonna go into what looks like a down dog. Mario will walk us through it. Because I cannot.
Okay.
It's tight today.
Yeah, it is.
Must be because of the rain. That's another type of rain. Muscle tightening rain.
Okay, ground your palms onto the mat. Lifting the arches of your feet. Connect your inner thighs. Lift up pelvic floor. Engage your lower abs. Suck the belly button to your spine. Pull the shoulder blades down and back. Relax your neck.
At no point should you be feeling this in a joint. This should be all in muscles.
Really, really try to reach your sits bone up towards the sky. As you engage your abs. And try to relax and open up the backside of your body as you breathe.
Okay, we're gonna come into kneeling. We're gonna do a quick child's pose. Even though down dog's essentially supposed to be a child's pose. If you're like me, down dog's actually hard. This will give you a chance to open things up. In yoga, they say down dog's a resting pose. That is just some kind of sadist because it's not resting for me because I'm too tight. So it's great if it's a resting pose for you, but I understand those people that don't feel like it's a resting pose. Okay, we're gonna come around, we're gonna start stretching out some of the deep rotators of the hips. So we're gonna start out in this position. This is in case you go to one of those Kumbaya concerts and you're sitting on the floor. That's my biggest nightmare. Why is everyone sitting on the floor? Okay, so what you're gonna do is, using your arms, pull your knee into your hip, or your femur into the hip socket. Your chest is gonna go up nice and tall. You're gonna pull in really deep. Abs are gonna go on, your lats are gonna go on. You're gonna feel just unusual compression into the joint. It's actually a good compression. Because come out of the hip joint too much. We don't go into it enough, and that's what creates a lot of the pathologies we have. Abs are nice and tight. Someday I fully explain that because it's a long story that can't be done. Suck in your tummy. Jaws relax. Really pull that knee into the hip socket. It's not so much to chest. You can pull it to your chest, but it's into the hip socket. Just get it in there. Get it. And then we're gonna switch sides. So left leg goes under. I'm doing the same thing. Abs are nice and tight. Try to get the weight 50-50 through both hips. Pull that knee into your chest. Into the hip socket. If your leg splays out, get it more towards midline. Suck in your tummy. Chest up, really drive that hip into the hip socket so it can heal. Can't tell you how many knee problems are because of this.
Okay.
And that's a different story on a different day. Legs go out straight in front of you once again. Okay, now you're gonna bend your left leg, put it over your right. Ooh, you're gonna stretch forward. You're gonna use your, right hand to pull that left leg up your thigh. Suck in your tummy, spine is straight, abs are on, no joints. We feel no joints. Suck in your tummy. You're gonna rock side to side on this one. It's just fun. Even though I say keep your head on midline, this is a fun thing. Suck in your tummy. Okay. We're gonna switch sides. Okay, grab your ankle. You're gonna reach down and grab that foot. Create that stretch. Pull in that right ankle into your hip. Abs are nice and tight. You're gonna rock, rock, rock. No pain into joints. That includes your toes. Keep breathing. And once again, take your legs out in front of you. As you experience your forward fold, it should feel different because by adding that twist, you made it more intense. We're going to counter stretch. You can use a ball, or you could use a towel, or you could use your block. Just going to go on the small of your back. Ooh, microphone. You're going to arch over the top of the ball. Oops, found my block. And you're gonna rock from side to side. Abs are engaged, toes are pointing up, not out to the sides. Rock one side, rock the other. Notice if your abs are burning, they should be because you've been working them, and now you're lengthening them. Keep your abs engaged. And we're gonna sit back up again. You're gonna take your right leg and you're gonna put it against the ground. When I was a kid, they used to have these things called felt boards, and they'd tell stories and put little felt characters on a felt board, and it would stick, and it was like, oh my God, it was mind-blowing magic. But when they did it, they always exaggeratedly put it down because they had to flatten it down on the felt board. You're gonna felt board your leg down as you take your other leg, stack it on top. We're adding twist now. Chest goes up nice and tall. Once again, you're gonna take this left femur and draw it into your hip. That'll cause your chest to go out. Abs are nice and tight. You'll feel the intensity increase on this left butt cheek. Suck that tummy in. Keep your little characters on the felt board. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Smiles are up. Okay, now Now we're gonna make it more complex as we twist to the left. If you have short arms like me, you can use a block behind you to increase the twist. But keep your chest up. We're not working joints. If you feel in joints, something has to tighten up. Your abs, your quads, your butt, your lats, something. Keep breathing. Sure. We're going to rotate the opposite direction. You can keep your legs in the same configuration on your little felt board. We're going to rotate. Suck in your tummy. Jaws relaxed. You should feel a little bit of pressure in that tensor fasciae lata on now the right side. Suck in that tummy, chest goes up. Twist is hard.
Okay.
That's why we work on doing it correctly. Both legs go out in front of you as you jog your legs out. Jog, 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 jog. Okay. Now you can put your left leg down on that little felt board. Then you're going to take your right leg, stack it on top. Chest goes up nice and tall. Feel what it feels like to create that lift. If you feel excessive pressure in your knees, toe up. Activate your quads. Activate your tibialis anterior. Chest is up. Pull this hip into the socket now. That will lift your heart up a little bit more as we add rotation to the left. Oops. Chest goes up. Suck in your tummy. You're attempting to get twist energy all the way from that left hip all the way through to that right shoulder and even into your neck. But since nothing has a single function in the human body, think of how it's affecting all of your internal organs and your endocrine system as you rotate this deeply.
10.
Good job. We're going to rotate to the left now. Right hand goes back behind you. Chest up, abs on, nothing in joints. And that's why people don't enjoy stretch, because they tend to put it in joints and not in the muscles, and then they freak out because they feel tension in the muscle. But when you feel that tension, you want to feel it in the right muscles. Like right now, you should feel it in that tensor fasciae lata on that left side. Suck in that tummy, your abs are working. And your crown of your head's going to the moon. Legs go out in front of you once again. Jog, 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 jog. Jog, jog, jog. Jog, 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 jog. Okay. Once again, we're putting the ball in the small of your back. You're going to arch over the top of the ball. Oh, rock from side to side. Oh, perfect. We got plenty of time. Okay, go ahead, bend your knees, lift that ball out, or butt up so you can get the ball out from up behind your back. Your knees are going to stay bent and your feet are going to stay parallel as you engage your abs. So this one's really easy to turn your abs off on, and that's what I see in a lot of like stretch classes. So you're just going to move your hips, knees from side to side like they're windshield wipers on an old Russian troop carrying truck where they're connected by a rod and they move together. Abs are nice and tight. Keep your abs engaged. Don't let your abs shut off. We're just going back and forth. This is doing twist. Okay, then we're gonna leave our hips over to the left. You're gonna take your left ankle, put it over your right knee, and you're gonna deepen the stretch into what's called your tensor fasciae lata. You may feel this in your oblique, which is wonderful. Tighten your abs. So we hope you guys all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We did. We had pork ribs and steak. We didn't have turkey. We barbecued too. Abs are nice and tight. We're gonna switch sides. Left foot goes down, right ankle goes over the top of your left knee. Suck in your tummy, stay engaged, you're in your core. Abs are engaged. Tighten your abs so you can feel those obliques. We're stretching out the tensor fascia lata. Oh, come back to center. You're now going to take your block, you're going to put it underneath your sacrum. Oh, that's just a wonderful feeling. You're going to straighten both legs first. That's going to open up your hip flexors as a group. So both your right and your left iliacus and psoas. A little bit your rectus femoris. Try to keep your toes aimed up. Now, you're going to do sit-ups here. You're going to tighten your pelvic floor, close up your rib cage, suck in your tummy, and try to get your spine, or your navel to your spine, and then just repeat. And we're going to do that like 20 times. This should be opening up those hip flexors even more because it's causing them to turn off because the abs are taking over. What number are we on?
11.
Oh.
12.
If I should have said 16.
14. 15. 16.
It's okay if you feel tingling in your
17,
toes. That happens. It's
18,
not bad.
19. And 20.
Okay, bend your right leg. You're going to bump your hip over and get your left hip more towards the center of the block. Or almost off to the right side of the block as you take that right knee into a rotational twist. So this is lateral bend and rotation. If you want, you could take your left hand, put it on top of your knee, and get it from being a flagpole into being anchored more towards the earth. Sort of what Maria's doing versus what I'm doing. I'm doing the flagpole demonstration. Suck in your tummies. This is all about working those abs. You should not feel this in any joint. That's including your shoulder joint that you're on top of. So stabilize it so you don't feel pressure into the shoulder joint. Pull that knee across midline. Get a spinal rotation going on. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy.
10.
Okay, go ahead, release out of this. We're going to center once again. So put the block directly underneath your sacrum. We're going to straighten both legs first. You should notice that one side opened up and one side feels a little bit tighter. That's normal. Keep your abs engaged, first, second, third chakras. And then now we're going to bend the left leg. Bump your hips over to the left, almost as if you're going to fall off the roller. And then you're going to take that block, take your left knee across midline and go into spinal rotation. You can put your right hand on top of that knee. Ooh. Suck in your tummy. Shoulder blades are down and back. Suck in that tummy. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. I saw on this TV series called You. What's on me? No, You. It's a TV series. No, I never said that. You. Have you guys seen that on Instagram?
Okay.
Oh, okay, come back out of it. Once again, you're going to center, straighten both legs out, and see how different it feels. It should have opened up the front side of your hips a lot. Okay, bend your knees, bring your knees to your chest. It's okay if your sacrum comes off the block. On this one, it's okay. Suck in your tummy though. Alrighty then, go ahead and put your feet back down on the ground. You're gonna lift your butt up, take the block out from behind your back. We're gonna sit up. So, now Michael Farrell cannot complain about me using equipment during class. We used very little equipment in class. So you're gonna take now your, what is this, right hand, put it behind your left shoulder blade. Chest goes up nice tall, abs go on. You're gonna go down on your arm and just stretch. This is homolevel stretching. Keep your jaw relaxed, let everything open up first. You're not to feel any joints. You're supposed to support it with whatever muscles need to create that support that your shoulder feels safe. Remember to breathe. First, second, third chakras are on. As you now bend your knees, bump your hips over to the left, knees go to the right. You're breathing. And as I've said before, this is an asymmetrical load on your lungs. So it's a good time to stretch out one lung. You can move your head side to side, or you could pick the tight side and hang out there. You're not going to die from this. Okay. You're going to roll completely onto your left side as you take that right hand up into the air and move it around until it becomes yours again. Okay, we're going to sit back up again. You're going to take your left hand, put it behind your right shoulder blade. Abs are nice and tight. Oh. Notice if one side was tighter than the other. We don't like that. If it is, that's called muscular imbalance. We have to balance this out because it'll affect neck mechanics, and neck mechanics ultimately affect balance. Abs are engaged. Bend your knees. Bump your hips over to the right. Knees drop off to the left. Oh, see what this stretch feels like. Breathe that asymmetrical breath into one lung more than the other. You're stretching out your diaphragm and your liver, stomach, spleen, and pancreas, gallbladder. I just love saying that word, spleen. Spleen. We all have a spleen. Unless you've been in a car accident, you don't have a spleen anymore. Or if you have leukemia and they took your spleen out. But otherwise, everyone has a spleen. It's a giant lymph node. It destroys all old blood cells.
Okay.
So we don't get blood clots. And as it breaks it down, it creates something called hemosiderin. And hemosiderin is what helps the body heal in certain cases by forming adhesions and doing different things. It helps us create bile. Straightened out and flat back against the ground. The abs are nice and tight. We're going to do something really crazy. You're going to take both hands over the top of your head. Draw your shoulder blades down. Try to keep your spine down, lower back. So that means you have to keep your second chakra on. You can keep your arms nice and straight. Ooh, touching the curtain. If you want, you can bring your arms back, interlock your fingers in a twist, and take them back over the top of your head. Notice if your arms don't go as high like mine are, or if they're back down to the ground like Mario's arms. Because Mario does everything better than I do. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. But either way, you're getting rid of any muscle imbalances. I especially like when we're folding laundry and I'm all proud of myself because I've folded my 4 items and I turned my back to Maria and then I turned around to look and she's folded like all of the laundry except for my 4 items. But I'm still pretty proud of my 4 items.
And I appreciate the 4 items. 10.
Okay, bring your arms back up. You're just going to switch your grip. Take them up over the top of your head. Notice if one side can go higher. We really don't like that. That's muscular imbalance. At least I'm uniformly tight. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. So I used to have this client. He was so proud of himself. He's like, look at my forward fold. He could put the palms of his hands down on the ground. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. I said, lean back. And he couldn't lean back. He couldn't get his hips forward and arms over his top of his head. He couldn't lean side to side. And he certainly couldn't twist. So I said, I don't care about that one little bit of flexibility you have. You have imbalance everywhere else. And he's all, oh, arms down. That would explain my low back pain. And I said, yep. So as you're laying down, feel what the ground feels like. Feel what it feels like to have your feet parallel. Once again, you're going to bend your, what is this, right leg? You're going to stack your left leg on top of it. And we're going to left leg on top of it. And we're going to open up the tensor fasciolatus once again. Remember to breathe. You're sucking in your tummies. Oh. Keep your abs engaged. Try to get your spine to the ground. Just a little bit longer. Make sure your jaws are relaxed. And then we're going to switch sides. Left shin goes down.
Oh, were we bending both legs?
Yeah.
You were just bending one.
Oh, both. Sorry.
My bad.
That's okay. You got the benefit. Abs are nice and tight. Notice one side's tighter than the other. If it's painful, it means you probably aren't stretching it. It also is telling you that it's weak. So you need to strengthen it and stretch it. And that's the frustrating thing about stretch is we think stretch should be an elongating, relaxing thing. And it's telling you about muscular weakness, which is like, I didn't even come here for weakness or weakness balancing. I came here for lengthening. Abs engaged, spine to the ground. Is that it? Okay, go ahead and straighten both legs once again. See what the ground feels like as you now take your roller. You can sit up or you could do the lazy thing and just roll on top of it. Either way it works. Make sure your butt's on the roller, your head's on the roller. Oh. Your knees are going to be bent, your feet are parallel, your shoulder blades are down and back. We're going to just breathe. We've done a lot of twist. A lot more than we usually do. This is what assists all the organs of your abdomen is twist. Because the organs of your abdomen love movement. They love twist. They love flexion and extension. That's why they're in your abdomen. The organs that are inside your rib cage aren't there because they're better. It's because they need to be held still. So the organs in your abdomen are all about movement. All the organs in your chest are about still because they have to move all day long, like your lungs and your heart and your thymus. And that's why they're underneath your rib cage. The organs of your abdomen like to be twisted, bent, and extended and flexed and lengthened. So feel what it feels like to tighten your abs. So lengthen your spine, lengthen and lift up all of your organs. See, on top of the roller, I'm just sitting up to bring it home. You made it through Thanksgiving. Good for you. We didn't have a turkey crisis like we thought, and even then, it wasn't that big a deal. Because if you go to grocery stores, they have too many now, once again, and the prices dropped from $55 down to a normal amount. Abs are nice and tight. Lift up your chest, even though you're on a roller. Feel what it feels like to connect to center. Feel what it feels like to feel all the muscles that create twist. Then connect in the breathing, connected to your center. As we all know, this is a very crazy time, so it's important that we find our way back to our centers. So we get out of the habit of reacting to what's going on around us and become deeply rooted to our centers. And it's amazing how one person in their center could change history. Why can't that person be you? So breathe, connect, center. On behalf of Marianne, thank you so much for being here, sharing your energy, openness and willingness, love and energy. Namaste.
Namaste.